As you notice from the title of this video, we got to replace the headlight bulb. Sounds pretty straightforward. However, on this vehicle, it's all but straightforward, but it's not terrible. We got to move the bumper cover out of our way in order to remove the headlights in order to gain access to the bulbs, unfortunately. We have 4 total clips and the rest are bolts, 10mm heads. You can do this with a flathead screwdriver. Just get underneath. You'll see there's 2 steps to it. It's like an insert. And once you get that first one up, then you can get underneath the second one. It's okay if the center pulls all the way out. But essentially when this pushes down in, it kind of flares that piece out and keeps it from coming out. These pliers work pretty good. They're not really made for these, but they work just as well. Once the plastic retainers are removed, now we could go remove all the 10mm. This front one here is a little different. It's got a grommet on it, like a step of some sort. I'm assuming this one will be the same way. That one's the same way. So far the rest are the same. Those are all the same so far. Got one more right here. Alright, this should be able to pop out of place for now. Alright, next we gotta go down to the wheel wells. We're on the passenger side, the right front. And you can see I have the wheel turned to the left. And you come in and you have 1, 2, 3. Pretty much these 3 plastic clips. We're gonna take and pop them out. You could get behind here with a screwdriver or something, but you're going to scratch stuff up. It's best if you have some kind of tool for the clips. Something like this. Do I get this one to work for you? As an example. A lot of times you get them started with something and then you get behind there with a pair of dikes or a pair of pliers of some sort. And get them the rest of the way out like that. Or if you have a tool like this, makes it even better. You kind of get in there like that and then you squeeze. So the proper tools make it go a little bit smoother, but not necessary. Okay, we got those 3 removed, and then we have 1 10mm bolt. I'm not sure if you can see it up in there, but it's tucked tightly up in there. So up inside this hole, we're going to take and zip that out. Should be a 10mm socket. It's on a little bit of an angle. Just like so. Same thing on the other side. Before I even go too far, I want to take notice that this here is pushed out. It has a paint chip up there. Same thing as the other side. You got this 10mm up high. Alright, now that those are removed, you gotta peel this back a little bit. And have this bumper cover. Clip it like so. Do the same thing on the other side. As you see, that was already messed up. Stuff on here like so. Like so. Now it's just a process of wiggling this out. There's clips underneath the headlight. Just like so. That's actually as far as you need to go in order to do this job. You can take it off all the way if you really wanted to. Next, I put a 10mm swivel on the extension. Pull this back. You can do this with a socket and ratchet or a wrench. Got one 10mm bolt there. Yeah, one more. Right here. Two retaining bolts. Same thing on the other side. This keeps getting a little too close for my comfort, so what I'm going to do is take a fender cover right here like so. But if you have a rag or something just to put in there, it's not a big trip. A little bit tight. Alright, now from the back side you'll see we'll have, these are the low beams on the outside. So you're going to take and turn this to the left, lefty loosey, unplug it. It's got two clips, one on each side, bam, bam, just move them a little bit and then you can unplug it. Make sure this grommet comes with it. Here we're going to be replacing both sides at the same time. That way it has two new bulbs. Do everything possible not to touch the glass with your bare hands and keep any dirt and debris off them. Only hold it from the plastic base. I'll plug it in after it's in. That way I avoid any contamination. Try to put this in through the headlight without it touching. Once it's in, turn it to the right. And plug it back in like so. I'm taking, slide the headlight back in place. I feel pretty confident about it. Right now would be a good time to test the headlights. There's like a tab in the back here you gotta get started. In the hole. It's gonna want to slide up like that and snap into place. At that point your holes should line up. So we can start this one by hand. Start this other one. It's only plastic, so you don't have to tighten up. There you go, that's low beam. Alright, I'm just going to repeat the same process on the other side. Okay, I got this one out, but I want to show you something. Sometimes the grommet likes to stay behind, like you see happen here. You gotta peel it off. You gotta take and peel it off because otherwise you'll have trouble getting a new bulb in. There's this little tab here that sometimes can be a pain going into that little hole if this is too high. And there's been times where I had to actually move that out of the place. That little plastic tab I was telling you about that has to, it's like a locator pin. If I try to push this one up in place, it's going to break. So what I do is there's one 10mm titanium bolt. It's right here. Take and remove that. And for now, just till we get the headlight back in, I kind of put that there, and then I put this back in place. A lot of times you'll know when the headlights have been replaced on these because that tab is broken off. I guess in most cases it's easier to break that tab than it is to take a couple seconds. I'll start everything by hand. 3 retaining clips. 1, 2. Clip into place. 10mm. Takes a little bit to find it, but make sure you get it started by hand. You mentioned before. One, 3. I'm going to take the cover, put that back into place. We had 2 oddballs. They both went here and here. The rest are the same, except for one longer one, which goes here. So we get all these started by hand. Now these clips, leave the center pulled up. Alright, I say once you get the plastic ones in there, you can just push the centers down. That's going to flare them back out. Well, there you have it. That's how you replace low beam bulbs on a 2011 Chevy Malibu. This goes for a few different years. If I can find out what other years this pertains to, I'll leave that here in the description as well. However, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.